Here we are in continuation of our podcast on today, and I being a special guest. We have Frank and Crystal James, and we actually saw them in the park, and we wanted to ask them, what is your perspective on peace and protecting your peace?
Well, my peace comes from Jesus. Jesus, that's it. That's where my peace comes. I rely on Him. I trust Him. As long as you put your trust and you have a relationship with Him, He's the one who got the peace. That's the perfect peace that you can ever have.
Amen. Okay. Mr. Frank?
Me too. And don't stay mad long.
Oh, love it.
Get
Amen.
it right. Don't let your anger go down. Don't let your
don't let the sun
go down on your wrath.
Yes.
Okay,
Love
it.
Because it ain't worth it.
Yes.
But when
I don't
it
even
really,
remember when I was mad at the last time I got mad.
I love that.
That's what
I
Jesus does.
that.
Amen. Thank y'all so much.
Oh my God.
today, we have Mr. Andrew Commodore. And in continuation of the April and May podcast, we want to ask you, Mr. Commodore, what's your views on finding your peace, finding and protecting your peace?
Well, finding and protecting your peace. I think first that would start with God. That would start with God because He's our Prince of Peace. He's our perfect peace.
Yes, sir.
And if we begin with peace with Him, our peace will spread, and our joy will spread, our love will spread, everything else will spread, and it will definitely affect our peace. But it's a wonderful thing to have peace. Perfect peace that surpasses all understanding. That's what peace is.
And aside from God, for someone who may not know God,
Okay.
what would be your advice to them in finding peace and or obtaining peace and holding on to that peace?
Well,
If God's not in the picture.
if God, that would be a problem.
Yes.
That would be a problem.
So your
but
advice to them would
that
be to
that
get
kind
God
of, I
on
wouldn't know
board.
how to answer that question because I only have one answer, and that's the answer that I just gave. But being with the right people, loving people and sharing love and being loving.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that would help. But
Yeah.
the main ingredient is Him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what would you, and this is the last question, what would you say to a man that's trying to find this peace and find his way to a peaceful place? Definitely, coming to God is one of those things. But what would you say that he would need to look at first to get there? What would you say that would be something that he would need to gravitate toward?
Well, I would say know yourself. Do introspection, see where you are, and go from there. See, we all have shortcomings. We all have pluses and minuses, but try to improve yourself and try to excel in life and set some goals and go for them. And I believe you'll find what you're looking for.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Much. We really appreciate you
You're
guys. Thank Welcome back to
The April
and May
Podcast Show. Hi, everyone.
Hi guys. Hi guys. So excited to be back with you guys again. We're bringing you something truly special today. A special gem. It is called Finding Our Peace and Protecting It. And also we want you guys to know, as you can see, we have a special guest on our show today for the first time. Thank God. Yes. April and May are definitely bringing you something different. Our guest name is Anita Taylor. And we are so glad to have Anita here with us today. First time, and God has truly been blessing us, and He continuously blessing us. So with all that being said, today, as I stated, it's about finding and protecting your peace. Finding and protecting your peace. And you guys know April always started off. So we're gonna jump right into it and let April shed some light on finding and protecting your peace.
Well, guys, peace is something that all of us would love to have on a consistent basis. But there's a lot of things to it, guys. You know, when it comes to your peace, what's more important? Is it their peace of mind, or is it just standardized peace? Which one of them is most important to you? Because to me, being at peace is a state of mind. It is something that you have to protect. It is something that is very, very important to have. And it can mean so many different things. Peace pretty much means tranquility in life. And this word, if you do look it up, it is a noun. So that means it's a person, place, and a thing. It's actually a state of mind. And this show, guys, we wanted you guys to hear it from a different perspective.
Absolutely.
And we do have our guest on today, and we're going to let her give us her perspective on peace and how she looks at it. And we're going to just have a conversation today. So I hope you guys enjoy. Nita?
Hi guys. First and foremost, when it comes to peace, it's just so very important to have. It's necessary for daily living. It's most important if you're spiritual Christian, if you're abiding in God and you're trying your best to live right. If you don't have peace, it makes it very hard. Peace comes in, finding a path, finding direction, seeking the guidance, a form of guidance, whether it be through a person, a thing. When you say a person, it could be someone you like to talk to.
Yes.
It could basically be somebody that you able to click with, you can share things with. And in talking to them, it helps you to accommodate a form of peace. When it comes to a thing, the basic principle of a thing, you can basically meditate. You can hum a song. You can listen to music.
I love all of what she is saying.
Yes.
I am truly connected, you guys. I'm really connected to it. Yes, but continue. I apologize for cutting
You're
you
okay.
off.
You're okay.
Continue.
Because when it comes to being able to discuss it, it's so important, but it's so unfortunate to say, "Oh, I'm at peace," but then you not really have peace.
Oh my God.
Because when you have peace, peace resonates. It's a part of you. It becomes a natural part of your aura. It gives off a sense of you being able to walk into a room and take control of a room.
Yes.
The peace itself will resonate to where people are acceptable of you and what you stand for. And sometimes you don't even have to open your mouth.
That is
That's
true.
it.
That is true. That is true.
And in that type of peace, it does not come in anything that you can physically actually do, pay for. It's a sense of being.
Yes.
It's adapting. You have
Yes.
to become adaptable to that sense of peace. Yes, it comes through Christianity and praying and having faith and loving the Lord and walking upright before Him. But the peace that comes, that surpasses all understanding, you have to accept it when it comes. It's not going to scare you. It's going to have you in a position where you are so overwhelmed, but you're so just filled with this sense of
Like a calmness. Like a
Yeah,
calmness.
calmness.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
like breathing.
Yes.
It's like breathing, inhaling
a
and
difference.
exhaling.
A
It's a
difference.
difference.
breath of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air.
That's it.
I love it. Breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
totally different.
Well,
Totally
Nita,
different.
when you first experienced having like a internal peace or a
my
peace of
God.
any kind,
Oh my God.
what was your first experience with that?
Like just going through things, single mother, and going through a whole lot of things. So I was in church, but I can honestly say church was not really in me, but I was in the church.
But you still was in the church.
Right.
So-
Nevertheless, you were still there.
and
Yeah.
had
You
a
knew
very-
that God exists.
Oh yeah.
And you
Yes,
knew
sir.
that,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a place that you could have gone to regain that.
Look, I was brought up in
Define
that.
it, yes.
I was brought up in that church. I knew the way, but and when you look at the concept of wanting to fit in, and you see other people doing certain things, and then you think the grass is greener, you don't actually stray away from the peace that you have. What happens is you lose your sense of direction. and it alters your peace.
Yeah, come on.
Absolutely.
Because you start taking on things
Absolutely.
that are so much bigger than you.
Yes.
And then you get caught up,
yes.
you get sidetracked,
yes.
you maybe get a little belittled.
yes.
But you have to find your way back to yourself
Uh,
and that peace
yes.
that's going to keep you in a position where you can just look at your enemy and be like, oh, hey, how you doing?
I love it.
You look
I
so
love it.
good
You're
today.
so right.
Yes.
You are so
Oh,
right.
girl.
Oh my God,
The
my
Lord has
sentiments
blessed
exactly.
you.
Yes.
You know, he'll have you in a
Yes.
position where you can just love your enemies. You can love your peers. You can love your foes. The things that used to bother you just won't bother you anymore.
And do you think that is because you made a decision to just let go?
Yes.
You know, sometimes
Yes.
you know that you can have, like, I was just expressing some of your same thoughts you're saying to someone maybe a couple of days ago, and I was like, oh my God, but, you know, I'm hearing so much of people saying, all I want is my peace. All I want is my peace. And then I started thinking about it, and then I thought about being weighted down, being weighted, and then it also made me think about it's like a garbage bag. And you keep throwing stuff in it, and you keep throwing stuff in it, and the more you put in it, the heavier it gets. And that's how you can really lose your peace.
But
your
see,
peace.
that concept
Mhm.
occurs because
Mhm.
just daily living.
Daily living.
Daily living
Yes,
itself.
yeah. Mhm,
If you're not careful of the company you keep, if you're not
Girl, you
careful
better speak.
of the surroundings and the people you engage with and the things you allow to sit down within your shanana, as some can say, but it's actually your spirit.
Oh my God.
If
y'all.
you know, if you let
Oh
these
my
go
God,
seriously,
y'all.
you know, people so quick to say, "Oh my shanana," no, baby, it's your spirit. Let's
Yes.
talk about what's real here.
Yes.
The reality is, we absorb these things.
Yes.
Like they say, a new baby in Christ. When you
Yes.
become a new baby in Christ, you're just so vulnerable.
Yes.
Your heart is content with helping people. You want to be able to love on people, but you find yourself engaging with so many different people until you don't know who's who. You really don't.
Yeah. What
And-
do you
and
think
it's-
about that?
And it's not that, really just put yourself in a position like you got to walk around on eggshells or in a bubble,
yeah.
or basically feeling like you can't say
But don't you
this and-
think that some people are walking around on eggshells because they're afraid to be themselves?
Yeah, because
You
of
know?
the simple fact they have allowed themselves to be bombarded
Yes.
with things that have nothing to do with
to
them.
do with them. I've been in that position.
So
I have
what,
to.
what we have,
Yes.
what we really have to do,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not some big, blown out situation. It's a matter of sitting down
Yes.
and you make a list. You make a list. It don't matter how many lists, but you make three. You come up with 3 topics.
You guys listen.
What I will deal with, what I won't deal with, and what works for me.
Oh my God.
And see, when you put what
Mm.
you do with this list, that what works for me, if you've already allowed yourself to believe and you have a concept that says, I'm going to be a positive person, I don't have room for negativity,
Yes.
you make that list first.
Okay.
So that when you start to do these other 2 lists, if it goes against something that you put in this list, then you can take it off your list.
Oh my God.
And see, when you say about the trash can and the garbage bag,
Yes.
some of us don't even want to take out the trash.
Come on.
You got to be ready to just take out the
Boy, I
trash.
almost ran all
that
over this
girl,
park.
oh my God.
I
this
almost
is
ran
so
all
much-
over this park, y'all.
I am so glad that we have Miss Anita Taylor
Oh.
on our show
I
today.
almost ran all
Oh,
over the
this
place.
girl, Miss Taylor's bringing me a lot of healing today. And I hope she's helping you guys too.
Let me,
Yes.
Yes.
let me just tell the people how you take out the trash. You search yourself. It has to be personal. It must be personal. And the only personal situation that's going to work is prayer.
That's
If
it.
you don't know how to pray, then you ask the Lord to teach you how to pray.
Oh, come on.
Yes, because
And
you
prayer-
don't need it.
Prayers don't have to be long and drug out. People,
Yes.
I'm telling you, prayer is just like you having a conversation with yourself. If you need to stand in the mirror and say, "Dear Lord, Heavenly Father," but the part about the prayer, the significance of the prayer is to let go and let God.
That's it.
It's just that simple.
That's it.
But the only thing about once the peace comes, it puts you in a position where you're totally unbothered.
That's it.
You're no longer bothered.
You're no longer bothered.
You know, and a lot of us deal with stress. We deal
Every
with
day.
anxiety.
Yes.
We deal with, we could be driving down the road, just mind our own business. Somebody cuts us off. You know, if we ain't careful, we don't catch ourselves. We probably mess around and say, but
That
see,
is
when
true.
you got
I've done
real
it.
peace, seriously, when
Done
you
it.
have real peace, you be like, okay, Lord, look at that food. You know, don't let them kill
Oh
themselves.
my God.
You're right. That's
It'll
it.
be all right. It'll be all right.
That is it. Now, when it comes to peace, for me, I've heard people say, especially people that are intertwined with other people. They'll say, I just want to have peace. I just want to have peace, as if they're looking at that person, that place, or that thing as a source of their peace. And to me, I always felt like peace is a personal preference. It's
It
a
is.
personal job.
It
It's
is.
a personal thing within you. And if you have peace, then people can add on to your peace. But they should never, to me, you should not allow people to take away from your peace.
Yes.
That's a major one.
Yes.
That's a major
So
one.
Yes.
with
Yes.
that
Yes.
being
Yes.
said, what's your take on that? What do you feel about energy and peace when it comes to people, places, and things? What do you feel about it?
Well, for me, I basically am the type. I love everybody. And if I enter into a place and the area itself or something's off, if it's off or I'm immediately uncomfortable, then I leave.
Right.
I'm not even going to allow myself to be a part of whatever's going on. I don't care what it is. I can actually have money invested into it. But if something's off where I know it's going to disturb my peace, then I remove myself.
Yes. Yes.
So with
yes.
real peace comes a sense of discernment.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of know just from sitting back and watching the situation what's
Oh,
probably
Lord.
going to happen.
Mm.
Or you can kind of feel it out.
Oh
You
my
know,
God, I
you-
love
You
love
have
her.
to basically be
I
able
love
to
her.
walk into a room and feel that room out.
Yes.
And if you see that something about anything that's going on in that room is just not going to work for you, don't allow yourself to stay in the situation if you're uncomfortable.
Yes.
So would you say that when a person says I don't have any peace, it's because they're allowing that person, place, or thing to come into their psyche, where it's making them feel like they're not at peace because they're not keeping it internally themselves? Or what would you?
They lost their way. They've lost their way.
Yes.
Somewhere along the lines of believing, trusting, looking to God, depending on God, your prayer life may be off.
At something.
You can be, people look at the concept of just being saved and Christian and church every day.
Yes. Yes.
God abides in us. So
Yes.
because he abides in us, he tells us to study his word, to show ourselves approved of the word. So when you get into that word, the word is going to basically prepare you
Yes.
on how you deal with situations, people, and things. So when people say, oh, I just want peace, I need my peace, what they really need to do is just stop and take a long, hard look at themselves and see what it is
my
that they've
God.
allowed to disrupt that peace. Because once you
Yes.
once your peace is disrupted, it's not that you can't get it back.
Yes.
You just have to find out what the source of the source. You have to find that
There's a
source
Yes.
that has
yes.
caused your
yes.
peace to be disturbed.
Yes. To be
Some-
unbalanced. Yes.
Sometimes it can be because you maybe need to confront something or somebody. Or
Absolutely.
Maybe it could be because somebody said something to you that just did not resonate with you. You know, we don't realize our words have so much power.
Yes. Absolutely.
And people don't care. You got
Yes.
people who don't physically care how they talk to you. Peace allows you not to even give two rips about them talking about you.
Absolutely.
But I'm just saying they get with
Yes.
other people and they form cliques and cliches about you.
Yes.
And then they have the nerve, and this kills me. They have the nerve to see you and start whispering. But see, the thing about peace, that's the little analogy I used. You don't have to go to them and be like, "Hell, I'm gonna slap you, stupid." No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not the thing to do. What you do?
do not
You
go
don't
slap
do that.
someone.
That's not the thing to do.
Go even farther than that.
You
because
don't do
you're
it now.
never going to have peace. So
You are
you
never
guys
gonna
have
remember
peace.
that.
That's
You can be
throwing-
down the wrong.
That's
Yes.
throwing gas
Right.
Yes.
on a lit fire.
On a lit
Yes.
fire.
So what you do is you just basically be like, "Hello, how are you today? Is everything going okay? You know, are you in need of something? You know, I can understand.
Yes.
And if you need me, here's my number. Give me a
Yes.
call."
Yeah.
Not only have you trumped what they attempted to do, you put them in a position to let them know that you're not about any of the things that they've heard about you.
Oh my God.
Because a big part of people being nasty and rude comes from them knowing of you based on what somebody else has said.
said. Yes, yes.
They don't take the time to get to know you.
So you
for
feel
themselves.
that with that being said, you feel that when you attack a problem in that manner, by not, by letting them know, I'm really not even concerned with what you're saying, and by you feeling that way, you feel that when you walk into a room, you're confident.
Yes.
You're straight up confident.
If I know I'm supposed to be
Yes,
there, I
yes.
can walk in the room and take control
Regardless
of the room.
of what they got going on.
If I really want to.
If you want to,
But
absolutely, because you're strong, because you have God inside of you.
That's it.
And you can walk through.
Yeah.
You can walk through any kind
But
of
here's
battle.
the thing.
Yeah.
He goes before us.
Yeah. Let him
A
walk
lot
in
of the
first.
times
Yes.
we forget to ask God to go before us.
Yes.
To pave ye the way.
Yes.
If we do that, he's not going to allow us to be put in any position where hurt or harm will come
Absolutely.
upon us.
Absolutely.
But we forget
Absolutely.
about God. And then
Absolutely.
we wonder,
Mhm.
why am I this way, or why is this not working out? Like I said, you have to be able to sit down and really look into what's going on. Like dissect that situation.
Mhm.
Case in point, every time you leave your house, you get a phone call or you have somebody telling you something about somebody else.
Oh my God.
Okay, when it first happened, instead of nipping it in the bud, you entertain it.
Come on.
If you choose not to entertain it, as soon as that phone rang, they get on that phone. Girl, listen here. Let me tell you about so and so. This is what you say. You finished? Okay, let me say this. I do not deal with them.
Yes.
I do not know them.
Took the words
That's
right out
their
of my mouth.
problem. You want to talk about it? Find somebody that will talk about it with you, because that's not me.
And that's called protecting yourself.
Exactly.
You're protecting.
Because just as easy
Mhm.
as Barbara, Billy, the next person can be going through something.
Yes.
That can easily become your situation.
Come on.
Absolutely. Oh,
We have to
absolutely.
humble ourselves.
Come on.
Absolutely.
We must find a way to humble ourselves. And everything honestly begins with the prayer.
That's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
all hear the songs, I will trust in the Lord. But when it comes to trusting in the Lord, what we do?
We take
trust
it
in
upon ourselves.
We go out here and take out loans. We go out here and go to the check cashing places.
Yes.
We call
Tell it.
folks and
Yes,
say,
yes,
can I
yes.
borrow? Not,
Yes.
can I borrow?
Yes.
Just until next week, something comes up next
And you
week.
can't pay. Now you're under stress.
If you can't pay them back, you
Yes.
don't even know how. It's not to say that you don't connect and click with people that you know you can call and say,
Right.
okay, something happened.
Yes.
I can't get it, but just know I'm not going to forget about you.
Right.
When you have people in your corner that you know you can talk to,
Right.
and they truly have your back, then you can always just call them. Everything will actually come together by
Come
you
together.
communicating, as
Communicating.
opposed to, oh God, they calling again.
By disregarding. By disregarding
No.
the
Let
me delete
call.
that. Let me-
Exactly.
I'm not talking today.
Exactly.
Notice heifer,
Oh God, I ain't got this money.
notice, look, notice heifer did not just send me this text. I don't know who she thinks she. No.
That is
This-
so true.
But see,
That
the
is
best thing to do, you read that text, you get out of your feelings. I don't care if it's 2:00 in the morning. That light will say, bing. You wake up and you say, listen here, baby girl. We all have trouble. We all go through some things. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Yes.
Yeah,
If
don't
you
run
take-
from it.
Yeah, but you got
Right.
so many people, they subdue their pain
Yes, yes.
and they leash that pain on the other people, but then they wonder why they have no peace. You're not going to have peace if you're going to, how they say it, I'm a match energy. Well, keep matching energy.
You might be matching the wrong.
Yeah,
No, you're going to match.
No.
And you want me to take where they
You gonna
go?
meet your
Where,
man.
where are they going, Anita?
Straight there. And I ain't talking about there. I'm talking about there with them gasoline underwear on.
You.
Just go right ahead, matching energy.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything about that because what she
Seriously.
just said, because I'm telling you what she's saying is definitely the truth. It is so true. It's a little laughter that we have going on too.
Can you
but let me
not
tell you,
Yeah.
this
go there
is
by
true.
yourself?
Yes.
Can you
yes,
not go to the lake of fire by yourself?
Yes.
You don't
can.
need help.
Yes.
You can see
don't
people.
need help
You
to
can
do
see
that.
people struggling, and because you want to help them,
Mhm.
what you like I said with accessing the situation and feeling it out, you can look at a person that's truly in need.
Yes.
and God will speak to you.
Absolutely.
And definitely
Absolutely.
peace can't live in misunderstanding and
No,
confusion.
of
No.
course not.
So if
No.
you're a person of misunderstanding or a person of confusion or confliction, and you do not properly communicate, you do not properly
That is
know
true.
how to
That is true.
protect yourself and your peace,
Mhm.
and even for the person that's disturbing their peace of another person, they may not even be at peace. They're definitely not at peace. So sometimes they can even test your peace because why are you so peaceful? Why are you so happy? I've heard people ask
I've
me,
had,
why are you so
I've
happy?
had people
Why
to
you
say
smiling
that
so
to me.
much?
That's true.
Because at the end of the day, they see that nothing bothers you, and it does bother you. You just don't handle it in the way
Listen.
that the way that they would handle it.
Absolutely.
Here's a major one. Not to
Uh-oh.
cut you. Here's a
No,
major
go ahead.
one. When they know you, when it comes to who you used to be,
Lord, don't let me get out of this chair.
folks
Jesus.
are so stuck. They're so adamant about who you used to be that they can't even see when you become a new creature.
New
When they
person.
can't even see that you've changed.
Yes.
And they will test you.
Yes.
They will come against you.
Yes.
They will look at you funny.
Yes.
They will say things. You can try a new hairstyle and they
Yes.
sit back looking at you like you an alien that fell from Jupiter.
Who
or
is
Mars
this
or something.
person?
And you looking at them like, oh, hey,
Yes.
how you doing?
Right.
Oh,
Yes.
this kills me. Is that Nita? Yeah, this Nita. Yeah.
I get it
Yes.
all the time, and that's so funny
Yes.
that you would say that
How you
because
doing? You know,
I actually, I'm definitely a different person than I was when I was younger. And I have people that literally forget that was 30 years ago.
oh my God.
Literally forget, like, literally that was 30 years ago. Literally that was 25 years ago. I'm definitely not in even the same person or in the same place that I once was, which you have no idea where that was anyway. And it's okay. And I have no problem with letting them know, like, hey, how you doing? Girl, I remember. I don't live there no more.
That's it.
Exactly.
And it's so peaceful for me.
Yes.
Because I don't, you don't have to tell me about me. I know me.
Exactly.
I was there.
See,
I
you're
lived there.
connected. Like
That's it.
Anita was saying,
Yeah.
you have to be connected with somebody higher
Yes.
than you.
Yes.
You know, because
yes.
that spirit of God is going to bring you
That's
that
true.
peace where you don't really care, like you said, what someone is thinking, because you know what you have on the inside. You know,
Yes.
it's concrete.
That's it.
It's concrete, and it can't be, it's immovable.
It's unmovable.
And then they call you, they may say, I don't know who she thinks she is.
Or
who
he
do you-
is.
Or he is. I don't know who you think you are. This and that and the other. I'm going through all of that.
Yes.
But, I'm protecting me when I don't follow up stuff.
True.
I'm
And that-
protecting my spirit.
That
I'm
beco-
protecting it.
That becomes very important.
Yeah.
But it also lines up with what she said, what April said about knowing yourself. There are people in this world, and it's not to attack anybody because I don't have all the answers. Nobody has
No
all
one
the
has
answers.
all the answers.
But you got people that are so bombarded with life and the things that they go through. They don't even know how to talk to anybody.
That is so
They around
true.
here. They living in this world, and they like mummies and zombies. They popping a bunch of pills. They blaming other people for their problems.
Yes.
And it's only because they don't know the person standing in the mirror.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to take a
Or
long,
they just
hard
don't want
look.
to face the person. They know that's one thing I wanted to say, guys. And y'all let me know if I'm wrong. A lot of people know exactly who they are, and they don't want to face the person that they've become, because why? They know deep inside that they need to do a change, but they have to.
just
But
took
the
the words
change
right
is
out of
so
my mouth.
the change is so major and so big and so much. It's going to be so different from the person that's standing in that mirror. They don't want to give up half the things that they will have to give up to
this is
become
so
something
True.
different.
That's it.
So
And
true.
that's
They don't
that's
wanna give up
They
the-
don't
that's
want to
the
give
part
up.
of
They
it
think
right
they're
there.
really leaving something
Yeah.
behind, but you're really coming from out of a dark place.
Yes.
And transitioning over to the light, so you can be able to see, because God wants us to be able to, when we go through all these stresses, of life and all of that. And truly, I believe it is because we're not paying attention. We're disobedient to what we should be doing.
That's a whole lot of things.
Yeah, it's a lot
There's
of
a
things
whole lot of things.
impacted in it.
When
That's
it
true.
comes- when it
We
comes
really
to
not
peace,
paying attention.
Yeah.
We
Well,
really
what I
not.
look at it is when
He
you
giving
don't-
us all the signs,
Yeah,
but
when
we're
you
not
don't
paying
have peace,
attention.
you need to realign something. You need to readjust something.
Take a breather.
That's
something
exactly
needs
what it
to,
is,
Something needs to,
yes.
like Miss Nita said, something needs to be stopped. It's like that green light effect in your life. Like, people don't understand that you have a traffic light in your life. There's times in life where you're on green light. You just go, go, go. You're doing everything's coming good, boop, 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 boop. And then you start to realize, like, stuff starts slowing down. You go into a yellow light. You're like, okay, stuff starting to slow down. I'm going, why am I coming to a yellow light? What is going on? That's that piece that was in the green light that you had. Now you stuck in the middle. You stuck in the middle trying to figure it out. What's going on? What's
You're at a
happening?
crossroad.
You at a crossroad in your life. But see, what really is what we're saying is when you're at that stopping point where now you're totally frustrated. You don't know what is going on. Your life is just not peaceful. There's something that you have to realign in your life. There's something that you have to go back and say, okay, I need to address this. Because majority of the time, misunderstandings and confusions are things that you have to resolve. Now, you can sit up here and say that you resolved them. You might have some temporary peace, but you ain't going to have a permanent peace.
It's not gonna last.
It's not
It's
going to
not
last.
contentment.
It's not going to be content because it's not
it's not
consistent.
content.
It's
But
not
you
going
know,
to be consistent.
there's a statement that always stayed with me, and the statement is basically that people fear what they don't understand.
Come on.
That's exactly right.
And a big
And the
part,
unknown.
a big part of that, you can't succumb or be submissive, so to speak, or engage into a sense of peace if you're not truly and totally at peace.
Come on.
You're not going to be able to deal with somebody who's totally in a position where they have embraced that peace.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of things come along with you having your own self peace. You know, it's easy to look into things or to look towards people or even use the tools. But if you don't have it within yourself, you're still missing something.
Absolutely.
So you definitely have to find that, like you said, the traffic light effect. You have to find that medium. You have to find that space where it's like you come to yourself. You have to basically know who you are, know yourself, know your self-worth, know what it is that you're willing to put up with, deal with, and then the peace eventually will come. And then when it really comes to not wanting to change, if it's in a position where you gotta be told by people, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, and it becomes, irrelevant, or it starts to bother you or irritate you.
Yes.
What you do is you make baby steps.
Make baby steps. y'all.
Make baby steps.
That is so
Yes.
true.
Prayer is never
Because you
gonna
gotta-
help anybody.
Absolutely, because I feel like, with all that being
Prayer
said,
changes
when
things,
you allow people to rob from you,
Oh my God.
because they're robbing your peace, and if you don't have peace, just say, for example, just using this for an analogy, in your cup you have peace in it, happiness, joy.
Yes, Lord.
And then you open yourself up, or we open ourselves up for others to come in and take from that cup. And then now you're empty on the inside. And with that being said, you got to find somewhere to try to fill you back up again.
That's
It's
it.
not gonna work.
So tell me why it wouldn't work.
Because once you allow yourself to continuously pour into others,
Continuously,
what you
yes.
don't look at is nobody's pouring into you.
Well, that is true. That is so true. Say it again, girl. April, I used to say something. April be like,
Nobody, but
say this again.
Nobody-
So now I'm saying to Miss Anita here, say that again, so
you can
you guys can get it too.
You can continuously pour into others, but the reality is nobody's pouring into you.
So don't you feel that even if some kind of way, for me, if I'm unhappy and I'm not having peace, for me, what I do, I look up to God. I say, Lord, help me to get through this. Help me to be obedient and sacrifice for what you want me to, for whatever you want me to be.
But you-
Not what I want to be,
But you know
but
what?
that's what I do so I can gain my
and that's
strength
good.
back.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Yes.
But
to
you know
be.
what happens though, May? Miss May, you know what really happens? Some people allow themselves to try so many different things. And I know we all aware of the fact of this saying, well, if you back me into a corner, I'm coming out fighting.
Well, my mother used to say that.
But see-
my mom used to say a long time ago, not to cut you off, she said, you know, when someone was constantly getting on her nerves, she would say, don't back me in a corner. You don't want to back me in a corner. You know, and my mother had the most humblest spirit. The most humble spirit. Stone Christian, full of the Holy Spirit. But at the same time, you can't let anyone back you in a corner.
That's
You
it.
gotta come out.
See, this is the
But
thing.
you come out in the way with God with you, so
That's it. See,
you gotta come out with God.
that's what. So with
Because
that,
you can do something
on your own.
on your own.
Yeah.
But if you wait on God,
Yes.
He'll give you a method.
He will give it to
He'll
you.
give you a method
Absolutely,
that you can
absolutely.
use that's obtainable.
Yes, yes.
Because they no longer will see or hear you. They'll recognize the God that's in you.
in
That's
you.
it.
And that's why we have to be so careful how we carry ourselves,
Yes.
what we allow ourselves to be a part of,
Yes.
what we mix and mingle and match with. And it's not to say we're better than anybody else.
Absolutely.
We just are set apart with a actual perspective
Yes.
of how to live amongst each.
And
other.
you're supposed to show that. You're
Yeah.
supposed to show that there is something on the inside of you that make you different.
But-
You're not supposed to act the same.
But see,
You're not supposed to look the same.
these churches, and it's not to attack every church.
Mhm.
You got some churches because they lead to their own understanding. They are teaching doctrine,
Yes.
but they're not teaching sound doctrine. Because when sound doctrine is taught, you know how to interact with people
Yes.
without having to be come on,
Yeah.
I'll bust you upside your head. No.
You're not in the right
Nobody got
church.
time
You
for
need
that.
to move.
I mean-
You need to move
But
to
I'm-
another location.
see, I ain't finna
You're
do
not
it.
in. You're not in the right. You're not in
Yeah,
the
it
right
is
place.
good.
No, no, no,
You
no,
really
no.
need to move. You're not in the right
Because-
place. Cause you know that's not sound doctrine.
No, that's not.
That's not sound.
But see, what I've learned to do, and it is personal, it starts with you. All seriousness, all jokes aside, and there's nothing wrong with having fun.
Of
But like I
course.
said about the churches, some of the churches teach that you cannot interact with people,
Absolutely.
that you're not supposed to be around people.
Mhm.
That's not true, because He will put you in a position where you can be around people. You're just set apart. You have a different way of having
Like
fun.
Jesus went into the
Yeah,
crowd.
like he dealt with.
Yeah.
They say one of the miracles He performed was turning water into wine.
In the wine, absolutely.
He allowed them to just keep on partying, but they
Mhm.
never said anything about him drinking any of it.
No, they never said
But you
that.
know, these people that want to drink and get drunk, you
That's
know what
the
they
first
say.
thing they said. But Jesus turned water into wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they said,
You
drink,
know,
be,
there was
how they
wine
say-
at the wedding.
How they say,
you know.
drink and be merry.
Yes. Oh gosh, y'all.
But
That is true.
But you
That is
protect-
true.
But it's true. Everything, guys, everything
But
Miss Anita saying.
basically what is being said is no matter where you are in life and who you're around, person,
Yes.
place, or thing,
Yes.
it's imperative that you understand that your peace moves with you. Your peace is protected by you.
That's
your
right.
peace is your own personal quest daily, consistently, and honorably.
all right,
You have to make sure that you understand who you are. Because guess what? There's going to be plenty places, people, places, and things that's going to test who you are. It's going to test that person that's inside of you.
Yes.
Especially if you're a person that has done a 360 change.
Yes.
Oh, you 360 change people that have changed like I did
Mhm.
from when I was a teenager all the way in my
yes.
20s
Yes,
until halfway
yes.
into my 20s. When I made that decision that no, I'm going to be the person that I want to be, not the person that people think that I am.
Yeah, staying true
And
to
when
you.
you
Mhm.
stay true to who you are, you're going to be tested. Your peace is going to be tested in anything that you do. Even if you're not at peace, you're still going to be tested. Everything's a test, guys. Everything is a test. Sometimes it's a trial, it's a tribulation. It's going to be all of those things because what? That's life.
that's
That's
life.
what life
It's
is.
life. Yes.
Life is that.
Yes.
But when
Test
you
it
when
every
you
day.
when you are a person that really wants to have peace, peace is what you make it.
That's it.
It
Same as
really
life.
truly is what you make it, and it is something that you have to protect and guard. And
Absolutely.
regardless if you believe in a higher power, if you are church hurt, as these ladies were just speaking of, and you go to church and sometimes you're trying to find that guidance, but you realizing like, hey,
Mhm.
you know, they don't even want me to do missionary work. They don't want me to be who I am. I have to, some people get afraid of being that person because dang, I feel like I can't even be myself. Like I'm gonna be a robot. So some people may actually feel that way. But guess what? It's up to you. I can't tell you how to find the peace. You got to figure that out.
Absolutely.
Nita can't tell you how to find the peace.
Absolutely.
You got to figure that out. May can't. You have to figure out what that is. You have to protect it. You have to make that list, as Miss Anita said, and you have to stick to it. Now, we are females, but also men, they have the same issues, guys.
Absolutely.
They go through the same things that we go through. The only difference is men don't show it as well as a woman does. They just don't. They don't show it like we do. We're emotional creatures.
Why do you think that is?
Yeah,
do
why
you
I
think-
always thought to myself.
Why do you think men don't show their vulnerability like that? Show how vulnerable they are. What do you?
The basic principle I feel, just speaking on when it comes to a man, men are taught. If they're raised by real men, they are taught not to show that side.
That's what we say.
Because I've seen little boys cry, and I've heard their father say, don't you do that. Don't you do
I've
that
seen
crying.
it too.
Don't you
Yeah.
cry like that. Don't you
Yeah.
never let somebody see you cry.
Don't let nobody see you cry.
And the only time they cry, really, unless it's like if their mother passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't really cry for
they
anything.
can, they can actually be totally hurt.
Yes.
And they can feel it coming and they'll still say, I don't want to cry. Because to them, crying is a form of weakness.
Weakness.
But see,
Absolutely.
you can actually find strength in weakness.
Yes.
You really can.
Mm-hmm.
People think that you can't because then they want you to feel like, well, you just weak. No, you're not. Weakness comes because of sad fact. You can go through a situation. You can go through that situation again. You can continuously go through that same situation. But when you realize what allowing you to continuously go through this situation, that's where you find your strength.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there is a great reality in weakness.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think
I
also,
agree with that.
also
yeah.
I think for men,
Mhm.
I think men basically have a turning point in their life, just like women. You know, like they say, okay, you at some point in time you got to come into your own. You know how your parents tell you,
Yes, yes.
I'm not gonna be here
Always,
There's
yes.
gonna come a time when you're gonna have to stand up for,
For
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Now this
yes.
does not happen.
Mm-hmm.
It does not happen at the age that they may tell you.
Yes.
Okay, legal what? Legal grown is 18
For
or 21.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who says it's gonna happen?
Right, at 18.
It can happen at 22.
It may not happen at 40,
Yeah.
So,
50. Some may never get it.
but you want me to tell you what the aspect, the actual reality of it is?
Yes,
When
please
their
share. it.
mind changes.
When it transition over.
When the mind changes.
When the mind changes.
When the mind
when the
lines
mind
up with
changes.
a complete and total change.
Yeah,
And they
the
become
total
a-
you.
They become
The total
adaptable
you.
to who they are, who
Yes.
they want to be.
Yes.
What is how, like for instance, okay, this problem can arise. Like a man gets married, he has a family,
Mhm.
whatever. Bills come due. Okay, how these bills gonna get paid if you ain't out here working?
That's right.
But a real man gonna find a way to get
Gonna
those
find a
bills
way
paid.
to get it done.
So it comes when you allow yourself to mature and grow
Yes.
in the concept of accepting responsibility of being who you say you are. It's
Yes.
just that simple.
You gotta come into yourself.
Coming into
That's
yourself. Coming of
exactly what
age,
it is.
Coming into yourself.
Absolutely. Put the childishness away and become
And
the man.
It goes
Or
both ways.
become that woman.
It goes both
That's
ways.
the only way it's ever going to work. So
Because-
basically, you guys, we thank you guys so much again for listening, and we totally appreciate Miss Anita Taylor. And guys, I'm telling you, you know, she dropped some real gems.
Real
today.
gems,
Some
guys.
really, really great information. So please, you guys, you know, watch this show, and I'm sure you're gonna have to watch it more than one time in case you missed something, because some great stuff was dropped today.
Yes.
And with that being said, April and May, we are going to close it out for today. Now, unless my co-host has something that she want to add to it before we
Well,
close
this-
it out.
This is what I want to add, guys. We want you guys to like, share, and comment, and let us know what you guys want to hear about, because we have some great things coming up. We're gonna have some male interviews coming up soon, guys. That's really gonna blow you guys away. There's so many good things that we plan to do. We want you guys to know that this is not a show just for women. This is a show for everybody. We want everyone's voice to be heard.
Yes, yes.
It's not a Christian-based show. It's not a this-based show. This is a life show, guys. And we want everybody to know that, yes, we women up here, May and I, yes, God is our rock.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, we understand that everybody is not going to do everything exactly the same, but we still love you the same, and we still want you to make it, and we still want you to be who you want to be. But we got to get you to understand that peace is a necessity.
Absolutely.
And just like you put on your pants, your shoes, your socks, your shirt for you to go out the door, and your undergarments, your peace needs to be something that you pick up.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate you guys. We love you guys.
Yes, yes.
And we
again,
will definitely see you next time. Bye,
yes,
guys.
and again, we thank Miss Taylor. Thank
Oh,
you.
no, and thank you, Miss Taylor. Look at me,
Yes,
y'all.
we thank Miss Taylor for being our first guest.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Well, hold on. Well, do you have something you'd like to say before
Yeah.
we close? Give a couple seconds here.
Well, this one point came to me, and it was just basically that, you know, when it comes to a situation that you may not completely and totally understand, if it puts you in a position to be uncomfortable, just leave it alone.
I love it.
Just leave it alone.
And
There you
that's the
go.
footnote, guys.
Just
That's
leave it
the
alone.
footnote. If
Yes.
it makes you uncomfortable, leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Oh my God, we can't take anything away from it, and we will not add anything to it.
All right,
So with
guys.
that being said, we love y'all so much, and just stick around for the next April and May podcast. Yes, we love you.